All right, guys, now that we've taken a moment to, or taken some time rather, to create our digital textbook and start creating our iCan and lingo slides, it's time to go back to our iCan slides and add in the visuals. Because remember, the iCan slide itself has two parts. It has the iCan statement that tells us what we need to learn. And then we have some visuals that we need to add to our iCan slide that help us understand the concept better. All right, the whole idea of that iCan visual is to help us remember certain aspects that we need to understand. Now, usually what I'll do is I'll have some things that you'll need to construct as far as the visual goes. It will require you probably making something. But to start here, we're just going to start with some simple visual images that I've created that we need you to add to your iCan slide. Now, you'll notice here I have my digital notebook open with my blank, well, I shouldn't say blank. I have my iCan and lingo slides here with my iCan statements, but no visuals. You can see there's no visuals in either one of these here. And I also have the A1 web page open from our kind of digital textbook, EdTech Concepts textbook website here, if you will. And now you'll notice that when you go to this, now if you don't remember how to get here, remember they're linked in the daily game plan. So you can click on the links to the EdTech concepts that we're talking about for the day there. And so A1 and A2 should be there. You'll notice now that I've added some content to the A1 visual development section here. And it gives you some information here. You want to read this over usually each time. It says, take a look at the visual image below. The image shows that we will be using Google Slides to create our iCan visual slides and lingo slides for the EdTech concepts. Simply take the image below and add it to your A1 iCan slide. You can move the image from the page to your desktop and then your desktop to the slide. Now, you don't always have to do that, guys, but it's a good idea because sometimes in the browsers, and it depends how kind of mood the browser is in, basically. It depends on what mood Chrome or what mood Safari's in. Sometimes they don't always directly move. Now we'll kind of do it both ways here. I'll kind of show you with each one both techniques here, and we'll see if one works better than the other. And you'll also notice now this is very small here, but when I click on it, it makes a much bigger image. Okay, they call this the gallery view in the website maker I make, which if there was more than one image, which a lot of times will have, it'll let you kind of cycle through them all. But I like this because it makes it a true size. If I were just to put the image in there, I'd be restricted to the space that's on the website there. This allows me to do that. Now from here, what I can do, what I suggest you do most of the time, is take this, drag it, and then drop it onto your desktop, and it should make a copy of the image there. Okay, so that's one way that you can do it. All right, and then when we're ready to put it on the slide now, what I can simply do is go over here, drag it over, and drop it from there, and put it right on my slide. Now I can make it bigger if I want to, because I do have lots of space. I'm not going to put anything else on here. And that's my image. It just kind of reminds me that we're going to use Google Slides to make iCan a statement and visual slide, and then a lingo slide for each one of our EdTech concepts. Okay, so it's just a reminder there of that. Now the other way that you could do this, and let's go to A2 now and take a look what that is all about. In A2, we have the same situation here. I have an image here for you. And we're going to kind of go through the same process. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and pull this tab off and make a new window here. And we'll talk more about windows later on. Okay. And if I go down to A2 now, remember A2 is using digital learning systems like Google Classroom and Edmodo to organize my learning, collaborate with others. Now, one big part of our learning there is the ability to turn in our assignments into digital learning systems, or to turn in our classwork to prove what we've learned. So what I can do if I blow this picture up now, sometimes what I can do, depending on the browser, is I can take the larger image and I can just take it over here, drag it, and drop it, and I can bring the image in that way too. So I can do the separate. So it looks like Google Chrome has let me do that. Safari may or may not let you. I can't remember which one on your computers lets you do it and which one doesn't. So you can try both those techniques. Now let's take a look at this. Just don't drag and drop and leave it now. You always need to go and you need to take a look at what did I share with you, or what am I creating here. Okay, in this case, this image is talking about the different ways that you can turn in assignments. Okay, and you notice here, for example, some of you have some experience with Edmodo in turning in assignments. Some of you don't. So I wanted to make sure I showed this to you. This is what happens when I put an assignment in Edmodo, and you click the Turn In button. This is what it will show you. okay? And you have some different options. And sometimes we'll be turning in a file from our computer that we've created from our actual computer, okay? For example, when we make a GarageBand song here later on, that will be a file that you save on your workstation, and you'll need to turn that in or attach that from your workstation to here, okay? Sometimes you may have to turn in a link to me. I may ask you to do some research, or I may ask you to go to a certain website, find a website. You need to find that link and then attach the link here. A lot of times, guys, the things that you'll share with me for an assignment will come from Google Drive, from your Google Drive. And what we'll have to do, and I'll show you how to do this later, but you can link your Edmodo backpack to your Google Drive account. I've talked about some of this in class already. But you can link your Google Drive account to your Edmodo backpack, and then from the backpack you can attach your Google Drive files from there. So that's another option. Sometimes it'll require you to type a response, and that response will go in this area here. And then you can always comment. It says response area, should be a comment area for assignment turn-in. So I may have to, I may have to fix that for that a little bit. But that one should be comment area for assignment turn-in. And so hopefully the copy I give you will have that. But if you want to leave me a comment if you think about something. Now a lot of times it's going to ask you, what did you think of this assignment? I didn't really label that here, but you'll have to click one of the indicators here for that. And then finally, when you're all set to turn things in, this is the button you hit. Okay? So anyway, there's that image there, and that's it. That's our visual for A1 and A2. It's pretty easy. Like I said, later on you'll have to construct more things and put some things together, but for right now, that's all you need to do. Okay? And that's it. So hopefully you learned a little bit about managing some of these images that are on the web pages for the different concepts, and hopefully you can easily manipulate those and put those onto your iCan slides in your digital notebook.